In the year 2019, Ghana legalized marijuana, also known as cannabis or Indian hemp, and popularly known as weed. After the legalization, there were little talks from different communities as to what it meant for the nation. While some didn't see the need for it to be legalized, the greater part of the nation was happy that it was finally legal. Even before the legalization, many people were wondering why it took Ghana so long to legalize marijuana. Now, marijuana is a substance which is not only smoked but used in various ways for different purposes. Marijuana is also used in making hair products and in also making some food products which give certain nutrients for different purposes. Now, when the news came out, there was a lot of relief for many people, especially the youth, who didn't want to be worried by the police anymore for smoking marijuana. Whilst there are many uses of marijuana, the most common use, which most people are fond of, is smoking it. This could be because it is easy and simple to do when compared to other methods of using marijuana. Now, it has been about 3 years ever since marijuana was legalized, and we spoke to some young people from different parts of the country to get their views about the difference from that time it was legalized to now, seeing what has changed and finding out from them their perspective about it. We spoke to one guy from Accra, and he is a student of UPSC. He made us understand that to him nothing much has changed. He said he is also a user of marijuana, and though it has now become legal, he doesn't see what has changed in our society. According to him, from where he comes from, though it is now legal, there's still a stigma around people who smoke weed. He says there has to be an education done to the public to understand that people who smoke weed are not necessarily criminals. He explained that even though now marijuana is legal, there's a way some people look at him when they see him smoking the substance. He has made it clear to us that he's not a bad person, and neither does he like doing anything that is evil, but he only smokes weed to calm down, to relax, and to feel good. Now, he shows us the difference between weed and alcohol. After explaining to us the reasons why the society has not made serious warnings about alcohol, we got to understand him. He showed us how every day on our TV channels, alcoholic products and beverages are advertised to a large extent, so much so that they even bring half-naked ladies to advertise on alcohol. According to him, this is very wrong, because alcohol is not a substance like weed, and alcohol is very dangerous. According to him, not only are we advertising alcohol, we are also using it as a gateway to encourage and promote sexual activities. He says this because when you watch most of the advertisements on radio and on TV, you'll notice that there seems to be a certain concentration on sex and the power a man will have in bed after drinking the alcoholic beverage. He says anytime he listens to the radio or watches TV and he sees any alcohol adverts being shown or played, it is only one thing that they are talking about: sex, sexual activities, and more sex. He shows us that if we don't take care, alcohol, which is not supposed to be promoted, is going to become a very serious problem, because now already it is a normal thing to do. But now they are also going to make immoral sexual activities a normal thing to do, as long as you can have your alcoholic beverage with you. We also interviewed one lady who also uses marijuana, and she told us how she has benefited a lot from the marijuana plant. Her first use of marijuana is for her hair, and she mixes it with other products and makes her own hair product to use for her hair. When you see her, you know that this is one person who really admires and takes very good care of her hair and her skin. She's very beautiful and her hair is very radiant. Now, she told us that she really loved long hair from her childhood, and it got to a point where her hair wasn't growing as much as she wanted to. So, she did a little research and found out that she could make some hair products, and one of the things which would stimulate her hair growth was marijuana. So after getting the seeds, she decided to do her own marijuana hair product. Now, according to her, she has been using this product for close to 4 years now, and there's a great difference between how she used to look like before she was using the marijuana plant and how she looks like now. And clearly it was true, because she showed us some of her pictures and we saw the difference. Not only does she look very energetic, strong and beautiful, her hair is very long and reaches the end of her back, almost near her waist. She also told us the second reason why she uses marijuana. She showed us that sometimes when preparing food, she puts some inside of it to give it a little taste and to give it a little spark, so that she would have some energy to do her work. She's involved in the type of work that needs a lot of energy. So when she does this and she puts it in her food, she gets the right energy to go about her daily activities. When we asked her if she smokes the marijuana, she said yes, but she doesn't smoke it as often as eating it. She prefers to eat it more than smoking it, because she explains that her mother was not too much of a big fan of the scent. So, to avoid this, she was cooking it and eating it and drinking it instead of smoking it. She says she only smokes it when her mother is not at home or when she's out with her friends. When we asked her what her mother's feeling was like with regards to her use of marijuana, she told us that her mother was okay with it, because she had explained to her mother that the marijuana was not a dangerous or a poisonous substance. The only thing was that her mother was not really a good fan of smoke. So anytime she smoked at home, her mother would complain. To avoid her mom's complaints, she decided to be cooking more of the marijuana instead of smoking it. Now, We interviewed another person from Cape Coast, and this was one very interesting gentleman. He told us that before the weed was legalized, they were going through a lot of torment from the police, even when they weren't doing wrong. According to him, they would jump walls and run with so much speed because there is the sound of a police coming to catch people who are smoking marijuana. As much as this was painful to him, there was nothing he could do about it. And he also explained how most times he was often tagged with the criminals because he was a marijuana smoker. Now that marijuana is legal, he was happy because, according to him, the police who used to chase him do not chase him anymore. Now that the marijuana has become legal, he shows us his gratitude to the president and to the government for seeing things differently and for bringing some relief to him. Now, he doesn't have to run away anymore anytime he hears or sees the police coming. He also told us that he and his friends like to have a good time, and so they are always smoking marijuana at the back of their yard. When we asked him why he always smokes it, he said it makes him happy. And according to him, when things don't go on well during the day, he smokes marijuana and he becomes much better than he used to feel. So anytime he has a bad day, he smokes marijuana, and this makes him get a little joy. But he says it's not only on bad days that he smokes marijuana. He was honest to us and told us that even on days where things are going well, he smokes it because it brightens his mood and it makes him feel very good. He claims that when he smokes marijuana, everything is just nicer around him. When he eats food, when he speaks to people, when he goes about, he's so confident and he's able to do his daily activities as if he's a big man, as if he's a boss. So, he showed us that the marijuana has a way of stimulating some confidence in him and motivating him. He even went ahead to tell us something personal about how he met his girlfriend. According to him, she was the hottest girl in the whole campus, and no one could approach her because not only was she beautiful and hot, she was very rich, and she had that presence of big people and some form of security around her most times when she was in campus. Because her father was a big man, he made such arrangements to keep his daughter, safe. Now, many of the boys on campus wanted to approach her, but they couldn't. They could only speak to her during class hours. But after school, none of them really got the confidence to speak to her. He said he also wanted to speak to her, but he could not. And one time when he tried, when he got close to her, he returned because he did not know how to start the conversation. But the next day, he decided to smoke marijuana before approaching her. According to him, that day when he went, he did not know how the words came out of his mouth. But in the next 5 minutes, he had this girl laughing loudly. Before they left the school, they exchanged numbers, and he even made the girl aware that he smokes marijuana. First, he was afraid it was going to ruin his chances with the girl. But shockingly, she explained to him that she had no problem with it, as long as he was not going to abuse it or abuse her in any form. After promising to treat her good and to never abuse her, the girl gave in to him, and they are now in a relationship. He says many of the people in his campus envy him because they don't know how he was able to get the girl, especially looking at his background, because he's not someone who's very rich, though he's not poor. He's not one of those people who will be in the class of the girl. Now, he has shown us the importance of marijuana for him and how he's grateful to the government for legalizing it. So we've seen that after about 3 years of legalizing marijuana, some things have changed for some people, but for others things remain the same. For some people, they are still going through those fingers that point at them as if they are bad people. Some people are still being looked down on because they smoke marijuana, even though they don't do any bad thing. But for some people, a lot has changed. They don't have to run away from the police anymore, and they don't have to hide in corners to smoke marijuana. For some people, a lot has changed, and things are better than they used to be. So, what are your comments about it? Do you have any personal experiences you would like to share? Have your whole life been changed? Has your whole life been changed ever since marijuana was legalized? Was it a good change or a bad change? Let us know what you feel in the comment section below. Thank you for listening, and if you have had a bad day, please do get some marijuana to smoke.